Today we're basically going to be talking through how you can AI-ify your life and all the ways that you can use AI, both in a technical, but especially a non-technical setting.
Hello, my name is Sharif. I am a content creator, writer. I do some development work. I kind of do whatever needs to be done. Over the last year, I've been pretty much obsessed with building my own home lab. So that's taken up the majority of my attention. I noticed myself using this technology more and more, depending on it more and more. And then sometime around February or a little bit earlier last year, Cursor switched their pricing from $20 a month. Basically, you can spam it all day to having you pay per usage. So it was metered billing. Once that happened, I started getting paranoid because I started like reading about like the costs of the inference, all the stuff that's going on. And my paranoid mindset was, it's probably not going to be this cheap forever. And it's probably going to get more and more locked down as time goes on, as all technology does. So I started buying hardware, and you can see here, this was like different phases of my hardware obsession. So I have, within the last year, gained about like 55,000 followers on Twitter. My code, yeah, like you could see how much code I started outputting because I can just tell the models what to do. And then I started also publishing model compressions on Hugging Face. So I take large language models and I try to figure out how to shrink them onto hardware that, you and me can run at home for relatively sane prices.
Even for someone, obviously, it's not realistic that like most people are going to buy like $13,000 pieces of hardware. So for the average person, like what do you think they should think about in terms of their costs, their future costs, what they should prepare for?
Yeah. So one thing that's really important to me is this codex bar here. It tracks how much tokens I'm using on the different subscriptions that I have. I currently pay about $1,200 in subscription costs. That's like about 5 or 6 Pro or Max subscriptions. So I don't know if that's realistic for everybody, but all of you seem to have MacBooks. One thing that's happened over the last year is that the models you can run on a MacBook have become incredible. So the Qwen 3.6, the Gemma models, these are like 27 to 35 billion parameters. They are built specifically to run on a MacBook. And I've been able to use them for media editing because I have a YouTube channel and a podcast. They're great at FFmpeg. So FFmpeg is the software underneath Adobe. So you don't even need Adobe. You just tell it like, hey, I want you to stitch these 3 videos together, speed this one up, add these clips here, normalize the audio. And a very small model running on my MacBook can do that within 2 to 3 minutes, when I used to pay a few $100s a month to get really bad, outputs from people and having to manage people. The way I do this is right now all through Codex. So this is the Codex app that I'm using, and you can see like all of the sessions that I have pinned. They're all titled with what I want them to do. So family green cards is a thread I've had for 4 months. I'm an American citizen. My wife and children are not. I'm trying to get them over here, but I need to go through the green card process, which is pretty complicated and has been going on for 2 years now. It was pretty much stalled until I got Codex. I connected it to Chrome. So if you go to plugins, you can see that they have the featured plugins. All of these I use every single day, many, many times a day. The Chrome plugin especially is very useful. It can use your browser while you also use your browser. Claude kind of takes control of your entire computer. So you're basically forced to give up your computer while Claude is doing its thing. Codex can work in the background while you have like 20 different threads open, and none of them conflict with each other. So this is doing my Polish taxes. One of them is dealing with an Android app that I'm trying to deploy. Another one is dealing with like a Polish business. Another one is dealing with a nonprofit that I've opened. So computer use is the same principle. It can use your computer while you're using it without taking over your computer. So it can use Slack, Discord, whatever it is that you want to use. It can collect context. It could read stuff out of the click and do whatever you need to do. So can I give this example? One thing that I've been doing recently is building the next computer that I am working on, and the thread that I've had, that's 150 million tokens in a single session. The compaction is very efficient, but I give it my credit card and I'll tell it like, just buy the stuff. I don't really care what it is. Send it over to the house. And I've noticed that is good enough. The stuff that it sent over to my house was built. So all the stuff that you see here was actually purchased and sent to my house by Codex pretty much autonomously. I approved the budget and I let it do its thing. And I accidentally clicked twice on a purchase. So I bought a motherboard, but I paid twice. I got two of them. Codex noticed. I didn't notice. It emailed the supplier without me asking it to, and it got me a refund. And it like went and found discount coupons, and it's great. It's like really, it's very good at doing things that I don't ask it to do that are actually useful for me. So if you have like the Claude Code app or the Codex app, whatever, or Claude Code, they write all of the sessions into files on the hard drive of the machine you're on, and you can mine all of that. So you can go in, let's say you run a local model like Gemma, you can ask it, hey, go look at the Claude Code sessions. They're in the same place always. However, all of the data is on your machine, and it's actually very good context that you can use to teach models. You can also start it, like if you have a task that's complicated and you get it done with like an expensive model, you can ask that same model to output a skill file, which is just a summary of what it did. And then you can replay that with cheap models. So there's a lot of like repetitive work that you do every day that could probably become a skill file. At this point, I just let them do their thing. I don't really tell them what to do much. Maybe I'll tag plugins so that they use a specific plugin, but I don't have to